This day 958 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Like it's bound to come and share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Please come me directly. It'd be very, very appreciated. They were doing Simon Tov Reish Mem Vav, Seif Yod, Tov Reish Mem Zayin, Seif Gimel. Yod Das Rosh Vatul Hakel Gamri Bezeh. Vainu, meaning the feeling Gama Balim Al Yonim Mistab, even in the uppermost leaves on the Adas to a dry. It's only one dry leaf. Kosher. But that's be at the top of the twig. Well, I guess I'm not sure if he's talking about Hadash Shaita. I don't think so. But he's saying that the Shloshal Yotzei Yotze Echad Mikam Be'echad Mikam Ashlish Nira Kumurka Vashneim V'Ikar Hidur. So we're looking as to look like it's on top of the other two. That which allowed besides kosher with three moist leaves. It's when they're completely moist. If they're wilted, avogad the mushing shame, and the wilted leaves are kosher. Like we wrote, now they're the only ones left. Psulim, it's no good. The primary harder is gone. It's not the same like we're all wilted, which is more harder. Rosh Machshos in this case. It sounds like there were tremendous problems with Adasim, and therefore they had to find very, very innovative ways to deal with it. Bishop says, according to Rosh, you don't need the Meshulash set to be specifically at the head of the Hadas. Bishop says that the Rosh holds that you need three sets, and each set there should be one moist leaf, and Achronim are astonished. Mechaber doesn't mention this. Yeshua says that Allah is like the first opinion; they need three moist leaves, and Mishra says that the Prima Gadim Paskins that the first stage is the rice. It's for the Machli, the other days the Rabbanim, Safek Rabbanim Lahakel. You laugh, but Adas Yeshua should going back can mean pale or ketana. Sometimes Adas have like a small fruit. With Domin Rabbanim, they look like grapes. The Shanim Mishnah with the Mishnah Yonov and Reuben and Miolav, it had more grapes than leaves. It's possible. If you remove the grapes, it's kosher. They not allowed to remove the yotziv. Possible that which has more grapes, it's possible. And simply when they're black or red. The lamina dasim. It's not considered to be the species of hadas. The vatling hadas and they cancel. Leaves hadas. Avokshem yurukim, if they're green, kosher. Having hadas is considered to be the same species as hadas. I'm not sure exactly what that means because they look like anyway. They're the grapes of hadas, whatever color they are. But the thing means they look like hadasim. They look like hadasim. They can't take off grapes and yota dark and masaking cleats like fixing a vessel. If you remove them, I feel even though it was forbidden to do so, kosher. Nevertheless, the hadas is kosher. The lulav, they say there has another hadas, he doesn't need this hadas per se for his lulav. You're allowed to then gather up the grapes one by one and eat them. Since you got them to eat them, they don't have mind to fix it all. Only if he doesn't have enough of the hadas. But it's clear that Misakno is fixing it. He's fixing it to use. It's an evidence. There's no way you can say that he's not fixing it just because he's eating grapes. If he has another one, then it's not fixing, it's just eating. Therefore comes kosher also after it's lulav. Based the invalidation of having more grapes than the olive from the than leaves ain't a possible mission. It's only possible the first day. Kosher. Other days it's kosher. They reject his words. The code mishum hadar, anything which is a pursuit of hadar, but possible. It's possible for all days because I haven't seen it of regiment this. Therefore, you cannot be lenient. Furthermore, you can remove the grapes. Why should you say it's kosher without removing them? Arukh HaShulchan says no. I think the Ramah is correct. It's Divided if he must be Rashi Gemara. It's only what Rashi explains on time. Shum Lavi Hadar, and the issue is Hadar. Finally, the Pasuk Gam Shagam. Also Pasuk on the other days. I'm not Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi Mefarish explains the time. You should receive Anaf 8. She'anaf Domela 8. She'Arukh. That the Anaf, the branch, literally, but it means that the everything growing on the branch should be green. I was talking about them when it was black or red. Ain't no Domela 8. It's not similar to the wood, to the branch. There's custom of Lumitam others. There's custom not do with other. So the other is going to be kosher because the other is only the rabbanon. If you remember Sheni Yontif, he was saying the Yontif Sheni Yocholamata when he can't take off the grapes, can't kosher. But since you can, you have to certainly remove the grapes. Mishnah says that it's but no chachmas pasul mishum hadar pasul all 7 days. You'll give him. The Gemara says the Mishchiram Erev Yontif. If they came black at every Yontif, look them Yontif, and you collect them in Yontif. After Yontif, even though at the time Yontif began, they were rejected from the mitzvah. Nevertheless, and you shall look them when you gather them and remove them. Niskasha becomes the hadas becomes kosher. The dichum meikar gam kosher lo mikre ditchui. When something is rejected from the beginning, in other words, when Yontif began, it was not suitable. That's not considered to be rejected. Even in Kachim, and certainly by Kachim mitzvah, certainly by mitzvahs. Why is it called Dichum Meikara? The Shemiknis is Yontif because when Yontif began, it was not good for the mitzvah. But if they came black in Yontif itself, there's a question more there. If you can be Yontif with him, you should have a near, it's like it was suitable, then rejected, then became suitable again. If it's kachim, the korban, it would be rejected. It could no longer be used as a korban. But like our mitzvahs came, maybe it's like the mitzvahs as well. Rama Tuvashon Lois Kum said the word. Rama Tuvashon did not mention this at all. So I have to say after Gemara Yesh Misha Musubaguzeh. Even though Gemara there's nobody there's a doubt about this. He come in on Papa Sham. So as ain't dichol mitzvahs. Is it's a language he uses that there's no rejection by mitzvahs. Afilu benira benitcha hakikaim lonkein. We pass it like that, and it's not rejected. Seems to be the primary psak. Says brackets. Has the right to say anything. It's a suffix though. Nira benitcha v'chazim and nira is okay, and therefore it doesn't really address it. Mishnah Berurah says again no chachmas. Let me make it when it came black before Yontif, not when it came black on Yontif. Yudal. That's what baby says of Sif Yudav. Im ein lo el hadash anava merubas melv. It only has an hadas which has more grapes than leaves. But Yontif, on Yontif note lo, you should take it anyway. Pavein for I don't make a bracha. Can't show. Big Shul love. They asked the Michael Mashal, what's he telling us? Any psul has the same status. So siman tafresh mem test, as we shall evidently see. Nearly, it seems to me the Kamasha is kind of Shaloit Lem Aide and a Yehudi. Don't tell a non-Jew to remove the grapes. That's okay when Sheinu Shaykh Mitzvahs ain't a tikkun kmo etzleinu. Sheyesh lo acher kmo shkasavnu. So since non-Jew is not relevant to mitzvahs, it's not remove the grapes for him is not considered to be a tikkun, but like it would be by us. It's a tikkun. Just like with us, we have another one's not tikkun. For non-Jews, it's not a tikkun either. So you're not telling him. So you're misakin mona. So he could tell non-Jew, grab them and eat them. He's like kishvus. He's like kishvus. I feel it's saying and it would only be a shvus if we had another one. I don't know what it means by that. If you had another one, it's not considered to be anything. Mishnah says, okay, so Mishnah is actually the case is that where somebody else gathered them to eat, and it doesn't have mighty machshir, it's mutter, even though it's a psik ratio. But in the end, they're going to evaluate somebody else will be able to eat the mitzvah. We're not machmir with that. So, but that really doesn't explain the Shulchan's case. It's not supposed to we have another one. I don't know what he's talking about. Maybe if you gather them not to eat them, maybe that's the case. If you had another one, you gather them not to eat them, so then it would not be a shvus. Anyway, the piece of Amir any who did have a shvus to shvus. By a non-Jew, it's a shvus to shvus. The Dutch shvus to mutam mitzvah. It was a minute place where there's a mitzvah involved. Commercial endeavors come to tell us came that saying have a tikkun gomer. Since we has to fix this adas to be absolute misakin mona. Lo trust shvus in makam mitzvah. This shvus was not permitted in makam mitzvah. Kasavnu, we already wrote Nichtam Rosha Mina Eitz Kosher, that if the top of the twig has been snapped, it's kosher. I feel also, but tomorrow even there is no new growth there, because the leaves of the das obscure the top. For the this is true also when the top of the twig became dry. Yesh should place some Nichtam Rosha Eitz. Those say even if it's obscured by the leaves, when the top of the twig is snapped, it's possible. But it's best to be machir if you can obtain another hadas. If there's no way to obtain another hadas, make a bracha on this one. The hadas like those poskim, which follow Rabbi Tarfon in the Gemara. It seems that if it even it's snapped, it's okay. Those who say if it's dry at the tip, even if you have no alternative hadas, it's still possible. Halacha says somebody who's lenient in a case where there's no other choice, you should not protest against it. But the ones who say that it is possible, that's the Bach among Avram. But Arukh HaShulchan says in brackets, Tzarechinu. Those who say hadas, which is grafted, is possible. Commercial possible. Eskim like a grafted esrog is possible. Shumacham paskin loiskir davazet. No paskin mentions the bishlam of esrog, past peru, and some esrog with the fruit. Shabi shefesh tam may esrog more lemukad. There's going to be a difference in taste between a regular esrog and a grafted esrog. Abadasim, by the way, the mitzvah he who eats valim. Mitzvah is the twig and the leaves. Mashach ba murkav. Why should murkav be a problem? Tzarechim. It says it's not clear. If you know for sure that it's grafted and mitzvah, but that's not taken for mitzvah. There's another das. There's not another das. The idea is dieting the mitzvah. It seems to me that's permissible. But Shabbat says in the das, if you know they're grafted, you should not take. You should not use them because they're possible just like a slogan. But if you don't know, you just assume that they're not murkav. So again, the Mishnah no chachmas. If you know it's murkav, it's also you just don't think choishish it's murkav. Tough reish mem zayin dini arava. Those laws of our rabbos. Of course, the Rambam reish mem zayin arvei nachal hamura b'Torah. The einan kol davar god nachal doesn't mean any tree which grows on a river. It's a specific species, anikra arvei nachal, which is called river willows. Let's translate it. Oshlam HaShulchan nachal. Its leaf is long and narrow, and flows like a river. Its mouth, in other words, its sides are smooth. The konashla adom, and its twig is red. That's called a rava. V'ro means that goes on the chalim. Most of the species grow on rivers. That's why they're called arvei nachal. Even grew in the desert or behorim in the mouth, it's kosher. Yesh minachet doima la rava. There's another species which is very similar to rava. El shelo ago. The leaf is round. Upiv domel masar, and the sides of the leaf are like a saw. They serrated. And its twig is not red. So then you call it tzafzafa. That is the tzafzafa tree, the psula, and it's no good. Yesh shamina of the zotai v'aravish and biyolesh chalak, that its sides are not smooth. But it's not like a saw. But it's very small furrows. Like the side of a small scythe. Was that kosher? That's okay. All these things to Allah Moshe Sinai. In last case, it's not like a saw, but small furrows. Zel ma imad the time that's that we learn in Sukkot Daf Lamadal Doma Magal Kosher. It's like a site. It's kosher. Daimel Meser. It's like a saw puzzle. Umesu Megira. It's a saw. First Rambam the average with the Daimel Magal. Like a site having Flemic time. It's like small furrows. Daimel Masar and Meser, that which is like a saw. It's having Flemic time. It's deep furrows. These are according to the shear. We don't know the measure. Can't make it during the time. What's called big and what's called small. Avrashi Baruch Pelatur appears. They have a number of explanations. The Yeshnafkina Be'etzem the Musas Flamin is the difference not just in the size of the furrows, but how they look. Right? The Doiman, Lemeser, that which looks like a saw, Havik Shapim Alechas no Chacho. It's when the indentation goes in to the leaf. B'yesh L'shnei has 2 points. Echad one on one side indentation, Echad and the other side indentation can become a sakin, just like if you have a flaw in a knife. The ones that are like a stickle, they all go in the same direction. They're not up and down the serrations, but they go in the same direction. Akumos klape base yachala, and they are smoothly rounded up towards the base of the twig. The Torah says, "Yesh min arava" is a type of arava. Shekana shel adam has red twig. V'ala shel mashuch has a long leaf. Its side of the leaf is not completely smooth. El shadem amagal, it's like a site. Shebekimoseh akumos, which has curved indentations. But doesn't side echad, and they all tend towards one side. You can that's kosher kind of shul. Sound the Ramah does not bring down the Torah, and the Shulchan himself passes like the Rambam. Gimel v'meses sleinu yesh shnei. We have 2 types. Shnei ha'alim v'shuchim. Those have long leaves. Ha'kinim adumim. The twigs are red. El shechad alav gdolim, but one has big leaves. Einam chalokim. They're not smooth. El doim elamago. They're like the size. Kapirush Rashi v'Torah. According to Rashi Torah citation. B'akana adamot. And the twig is very red. Hashem alav ktani. The other one has small leaves. Chalokim, and they're smooth. Akana enoban milos. It's not such a red twig. That's because Rabbi Ramah, I feel you're all kosher. Ramah writes that even green twig is kosher. Because eventually it's going to turn red. Because when the sun shines in it. And those who particularly taking the large hadasim because they are red, those who take the small hadasim, haravos. That's why haravos, because they are smooth. And they shechazokim yoser, and they're also stronger. The leaves of the big ones fall frequently. And they become dry very quickly. You can use either one of them.